Yeah. Okay then. Am I audible over the web? Yeah. Okay. Yesterday we have created a user and logged in into Azure, right? Yeah. So today I'm logging in with my global administrators account. Okay. Now let us go to all services and then look at free. Are you seeing free services? Here you will get an overview of, okay, what are the services that are free for lifetime and what are the services that are free for 12 months from your account creation. Okay. So in this, okay, if you scroll down, yeah. So always free services, you have Active Directory, which can have these many objects, and you can do something called as Active Directories B2C. Am I clear on this? So this, even if you use after your Azure account has expired 12 months, you are not going to charge it, right? This is a free plan, okay? But there are other plans also, right? Your organization might not end up using this free plan, but this is okay for us to start with, okay? Right. So for using Active Directory, you will not be charged. That's the whole idea which I'm trying to bring in. Okay. All right. There are many free services, right? But since we are discussing about Active Directory at this moment, so whatever we do in the classroom might not cost you. All right. Azure Active Directory. Microsoft. Okay. Let me do this once and for all. Yeah. Microsoft gives two always free versions. What was that image's name? AD5. Okay. Dot. Okay. Right. So let it do its job, and I'll basically speak about the other areas also. Right. So first and the most important thing, what are the jobs that are expected out of you as an Azure engineer in this identity workspace. In this identity, what is it that is expected out of you, right? So first thing is, let me go to this Google. Okay, you might have a Windows server, okay, or servers in your company, right? Let me go with 1 minute. Yeah, some server which has which is Microsoft Windows, okay, and then to be very specific, it has an Active Directory. Yeah, I'm not naming the actual component, but the actual component is called as the domain controller and all of that stuff. Okay, but that's okay. So yeah, right. So let me take this and let me draw this. Okay, this is your on-premise. So in your company, you have an Active Directory. Okay, right, and you have employees in your organization, right? So these are your users. Whenever they log in into anything, they authenticate using Active Directory. Am I clear on this? Okay. So whether they are using laptops, whether they are using payroll applications, whether they use whatever they belong to in their office, they are basically doing this. This is what happens in 90% of the organizations, right? Okay. Now the point is, where will Azure come into play? Now, what is the role of Azure over here? Right? Now, what your organization wants to do is they want the users to have the same benefit, okay, of logging in anything, right? And basically, they want to host all of this infrastructure on the cloud. Okay, so this Active Directory servers, whatever they have. So with this Active Directory, let me do one thing. Let me. These are your users. Okay. Now, so okay, right. So let it be devices like laptops, okay, or servers, okay, or some applications, whatever they might be. Okay. So in your organization, whenever you are trying to access any one of them, you need to have some kind of authentication and authorization, right? So what you would do is you would try to connect to these, right, with your logins. Okay. So now user provides logins over here. Okay. Or user will give his credentials somehow in a secure channel. And now those will get validated with Active Directory. Okay. User logs in and the validations happen over here. Okay. Now what you are trying to do is, okay, you have applications, right? This applications area. These applications, you don't want to run it in your office. You want to run it from cloud. Okay. So yeah, on your laptop, you might be running your application, but the application is no longer in your company. It is basically moved out to Azure. Now, how will you authenticate? Okay. Let us assume that you are using a payslip. Every month you will get a payslip. You want to download that payslip, but that application was earlier in your office. Now they have moved to Azure. But what your user has is user still has his own Windows login, right? Username and password, whatever is given to you when you join your organization, which you can change probably the password part. Now, how do I work out on this? Okay, right. So this is where basically what happens in Azure is, okay, if you consider this to be, okay, let me use icons everywhere. Okay, so this is your Azure. Okay, so in your Azure you have let me not Azure Active Directory domain services. They have not given any icon, is it? Or logo at least? No. Right, then Azure Active Directory. Okay. So on the cloud, you will have your Azure Active Directory, right? Okay. And this Active Directory has something called as domain services. In domain services, what can happen is our Active Directory tenant, okay, can sync users from here to here. So whoever are your users in your organization can be synced to Azure as Azure users. Yesterday we have manually gone and right clicked and said that new user, and then we have created a user password and all that stuff. But here you don't require that. You can sync the users from your Active Directory. So this process is synchronize. Okay. Anything in AD is called as AD objects. Whenever you have looked at a free plan, you are seeing something like 50,000 objects and all that stuff, right? Object is user is an object in Active Directory. Okay. So server is an object in Active Directory. So what you do is from your Office's Active Directory, you're trying to sync everything to Azure. Now in this case, what happens? These users will become users of your Azure. And now that is basically authentication part of it. Now, what are the permissions which you give? That makes again rollback comes into play. But the first thing is from your organization's Active Directory, where you already have users, you should be able to sync the users to Azure. There are many ways of doing it. Okay. Most popular being something called as AD Connect. But we'll not get into what are the different ways. But do we understand this now? So a company like, okay, let us assume that there is a company with 10,000 employees. Okay. And now they have applications. They want to move to the cloud, right? So they cannot tell that my application will be on the cloud. Every time whenever you log in, my application will have to connect from there back to your office to understand whether your login is correct or not. That might not be a very practical solution. So for that reason, what they do is the users will be sync. The users will be synced. Now you can go to an extent saying that, okay, users will be syncing, and this Active Directory maintenance, I don't want to use it in my server. I want to use it in my cloud itself. From cloud itself, you can change passwords. From cloud itself, you can create users. You can do all of that stuff. But the basic thing being the objects of Active Directory, which is users, computers, printers, devices, whatever you want to, can be synced to your Azure, and all of that will be stored in your Azure Active Directory. Okay, but to do that, we'll be using something called as domain services. We'll be using something called as domain services. And how do you sync your users to Azure Active Directory? There is more than one way. There is more than one way depending on what is that you want. Am I clear on this scenario? Anyone has any doubts on this? So in your organization, you have data, you have applications, and you have users, right? How will you basically get the same login even after you have moved to Azure? Otherwise, every time you have to say, okay, now we have moved to Azure, so we'll have new usernames and passwords. Please work on it. That will not work out, right? All the organizations are speaking about one username and password and logging in with multiple applications. They call it as single sign-on. They call it as single sign-on. Now you cannot go back and tell that, okay, whenever you're using that application, if it is running from Office, this is the username and password. If it is running from cloud, this is the username and password, right? That doesn't work out that way. Clear on this? Yes. So this is the first use case. Yeah. Is that the validation of devices for a single sign-on application? No. Yes. So basically what happens is validation of devices. Your devices are validating your login because device is already added to it. You are not validating devices. Device is validating whether you are valid or not. Because for example, you go to the printer. In some organization printers, you have to log in. Okay. When you log in, how will printer know that you are basically an employee or not? Okay. So you'll give some kind of credentials. Then what printer does? It sends an authentication request to Active Directory server. If Active Directory server says yes, you are a user, then you will be allowed to look into. Otherwise, you'll be stopped. Okay. First, devices will not be validated. Device will be added. They are already validated. Okay. When you are using those devices, you should be authenticated. So, for example, in your company, you have a server. You are trying to log in into that server. Right? Server is already present. Now it is validating whether your credentials are right or wrong. Even if your credential is right, whether you have an access to that or not. So authentication and authorization comes in. Right? In some organizations, you have color printouts where not all employees will have an access to. Right? It will be on the open space, but when you try to use it, it will not. You cannot do anything there. That's how it is. Right? Yeah. Do we use any connector to sync with AD in the cloud? Yes, there are more than one ways of doing it. As I said, most popular way of doing these days is something called as AD Connect. There is a tool in Azure which is called a tool which is prepared by Microsoft, which is called as AD Connect, and all of us should know how to do this. Okay, so first we should have a Windows server with an Active Directory with some users, and then we should be able to push that users to the Azure and then log in into the Azure with the newly created users. So this is our first scenario. Are we clear on why we do this? Yes. Any doubts on this? Ask now itself, because when you have any doubts in this understanding anything, even if it is basic. Okay. How many of you don't know what an Active Directory is? Yeah. Then how did you understood this? There is no way that you are going to understand this, right? Okay. So anyway, we'll speak about Active Directory. But Active Directory is where all of your employees' usernames and passwords are somehow saved. Just think of it as username and passwords database of your organization. Right? ఆర్గనైజేషన్ యూజర్ నేమ్ పాస్వర్డ్లు కావాలా? మిమ్మల్ని అడిగేది. యా కావాలి కదా. మీరు ల్యాప్టాప్ తీసుకుని లాగిన్ అవుతున్నప్పుడు ప్రతిసారి మీరో కదా తెలియాలి కదా. యూ విల్ బేసికలీ ఎంటర్ ఇట్. సో హూ ఈస్ చెకింగ్ వెదర్ ఇట్ ఈస్ కరెక్ట్ ఆర్ నాట్? ఓకే. మీరు ఎంటర్ చేసింది కరెక్టా రాంగ్ అన్నది దానికి ఎలా తెలుస్తుంది? దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ అన్ యాక్టివ్ డైరెక్టరీ డస్. యా ఓకే. సో ఇన్ యువర్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్, ఎవ్రీ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ విల్ హ్యావ్ యాక్టివ్ డైరెక్టరీ. ఓకే. ఆర్ very few organizations don't use Windows Active Directory. They use some other stuff which is called as LDAP. But even Google uses Windows Active Directory. By the way, if Google is using some Microsoft product, then this is where they are very popular over here. Okay, right. So this is the first use case. Am I clear or not? Yeah, right. After completion of this migration, can we remove Windows Active Directory? Yeah, as I said, Mani, there are multiple ways. Some ways allow you to remove the stuff. Some ways don't allow you to remove the space because your company might tell that, okay, I want to sync my users, but I don't want Azure to know my passwords, know my employee passwords, right? That could be one way. Some companies might tell, okay, it doesn't matter. You move everything to it. I don't want to maintain that Active Directory server. There are many models in there. Okay. So I cannot tell it as yes or no for all, depending on which model you choose. So for example, if your company says that, no, I don't want Azure to know my passwords. So what, in that case, you might need to still have an Active Directory. Your company might tell that, okay, I don't need to use this Active Directory, man. Why do I want it? Anyway, it is in the Azure. That is the second model. Okay. So this model is not about one possibility. It is about how do we sync users from here to here. There are many number of ways. Okay. Right. So this is your first use case. And from tomorrow onwards, I will expect that you guys are bringing your laptops because we have a hell lot of work to do, because first we need to set up a Windows server and then we need to do all of this. Yeah. Yes. 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 You can do that one also. You can go with all the permutations and combinations, right? It is your organizational choice. That's it. Organizational decision, whatever you make it. I can remove Active Directory itself. I can tell that, okay, my company goes with bring your own device model. Okay. So I'm okay. We bring any device. Okay. But the user will be authenticated inside the, what do you call, inside the Azure, right? And you remember Citrix, or you know Citrix, right? So I can have that kind of desktop services running on the cloud. You bring any device, you log in into that connector, connect to that virtual or workspace kind of an environment and start working. So your organization as such doesn't need to provide laptops also now. And that's one other model of it. Okay. Uh, 6. Yeah, good. Now, what is the first use case now? Synchronize Active Directories on premise to Azure. Yeah. Okay. Yes. How do companies provide Azure subscription to developers? Will that be free or any developer? There will be, companies will not give you subscriptions, by the way. You are a user for your company. Okay. Remember one thing, subscription for me. You are user. Okay. And you will have some permissions on some areas and you might not have authorization into some areas. No company will give you subscriptions. Right. I have forgot about database migration tool. Okay, then, but not today is not the right time to speak about database migration. Okay, let us start databases and then I'll speak about migration. All right. Okay. Okay, this is the first case, but let us look into Azure reference architectures. Okay. Okay. So I think this is one way of basically implementing a solution. This is your company already having an Active Directory. Okay, and then we install something called as Active Directory AD Connect. From there it gets into tenant. Okay, once you are in your tenant, then basically some kind of connectivity appears on your network. Okay, so you are syncing your users from your organization into Azure using something called as AD Connect Sync. Okay, I'll just give a image references to this, all of this. Okay, and slowly we'll understand the what do you call, how to implement and how to achieve that. Okay, so yeah, right. Yes, it is a virtual infrastructure. Yes, you have an issue in creating Azure account. You do one thing, Srikanth. Once you finish this class, right? Uh, Try to call at 10 o'clock to Quality Thought, 10 a.m. Indian time. Okay, and I'll arrange some kind of reference to you so that they can help you in connecting this. Right. So I'm showing you all the possibilities. What are the possible Active Directory kind of suggestions that Microsoft tries to give you? Okay. So your company has Active Directory servers. Okay, and you also have Active Directory servers on the cloud. Okay. So in this case, what is happening is you are extending your Active Directory to cloud also, right? So it is like every organization, generally what happens is, let us assume you take Infosys. Infosys has various branches across the world. Generally, how they maintain this Active Directory servers are, there will be one important server which is called as domain controller. And they will ensure that domain controller is present on every site. Domain controller is present on every site. And they have a concept of forest entry. We'll learn that very soon. Okay. Now, whenever Infosys adds a new site, basically what they do is, along with their infrastructure, the first site which they set up is domain controller, and the domain controller will have user information. Now, what he's trying to do is, he's trying to make this look like one more site. That is this architecture. ఈ ఆర్కిటెక్చర్ ఏంటంటే ఇంకో బ్రాంచ్ పెట్టినట్టు చేస్తారు. Okay, so from here I can authenticate any users of my organization. Okay, but I might not store all the users information over here. This Active Directory domain servers will also know information about this Active Directory servers. So if you ask someone, let us assume a Chennai employee comes to Hyderabad. Okay, so when he tries to log in, okay, there are two ways. I can pull the information from Chennai, or I can send the information to the Chennai server saying that I got this authentication, is it valid or not? Is it valid or not? Okay, that's the whole point. This is basically the other stuff. In this case, what you are trying to do, you are not trying to move my Active Directory or trying to sync users. You are just extending your Active Directory to one more site. It is as good as opening one more site, opening one more branch in your organization. That is how this architecture looks like. Okay, మనం ఇవన్నీ తెలియాల్సిన అవసరం అట్లీస్ట్ అండర్స్టాండింగ్ వైజ్ ఉంది. Okay, so at least at understanding level we should know what these things are. Okay, so even though I know that for some of the people the Active Directory itself is a new area, and I'm showing you all of these images to make your life more complicated, but understand one thing, your life is going to be complicated with Azure. It is not going to be simplified. Okay, మనం ఫ్రిడ్జ్ కొనుక్కోట్ల ఏసీ కొనుక్కోట్ల. Okay, so it is going to be complicated, but at least if you know what is that we are looking out for, we'll know what are the areas which we have to be very good at, right? So now I think we have looked at on-premises forest. Yes. Okay. And this is the same thing which you have looked into, right? Okay. 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 As a different forest altogether. You're basically having a trust relationship. Yes. This is fine. మనకి ఇంత డీటెయిల్స్ తెలియాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. Okay. When we discuss about it, we'll try to discuss. Okay. Right. This is a different way of looking at the things, right? So now in this case, what happens is, you will have Azure on the cloud, and whenever someone tries to log in into your account, it is validated by servers on the cloud. You are completely on the cloud, and then we use something called as federated logins. All right, and federation comes into play over here. This is ADFS, right? Okay. Okay, ఇవాళ ఏమీ తెలియకపోయినా పర్లేదండి, but eventually, depending on your experience, you should be able to understand all of them, all of them. But slowly we'll try to achieve. Let us see how much we can understand. Am I clear on this? Yeah. So this is all just Active Directory. But remember, we have one more huge task to achieve: role-based access control. Okay. So yesterday we were trying to tell that the user who has logged in didn't had permissions, but the other user who had logged in might have some permission. So if you remember, I've gone into the Chrome portal.azure.com. I think I have used hand.solo at the rate. Most probably this was it. If not, on Microsoft.com antena, Azure.com. ట్రై చేద్దాం, లేదంటే తిడతగా ఎలాగో. Gmail. Okay, I think I might have missed the word called as Gmail over there. Let me just cross check ఎలాగో దూరం వచ్చాం కాబట్టి on Microsoft. Okay. So I've logged in into this as this user. Okay. And now if I get into resource groups, I'm not actually seeing anything. It's trying to tell that do you have a subscription first of all. Okay. I have added the user, but I have not given him any kind of permissions. Right. So probably if I go to the users, okay. Okay. Right. So now if you see over here, this user doesn't have, okay, he is just a user. Okay, he has, you have basic what contact information, all that stuff for you. Let me go to assign roles now. All right, add assignments. Okay, so what is an assignment which you'll give to him? I'll give something which is okay. uh, Man, these are assigned roles. No, no. Azure role assignments. There are too many places for things now. Okay, so let me go to here. Okay, Azure Active Directory. We have the user. I think something is missing, man. So I think I have assigned the role, right? I think I have done that. Let me see. Yeah, this user is a global reader now. Okay, now let me go over here. Let me log out and log in. Sign out. No. Okay, I have everything, but I'm not worried why. The only problem which I'm getting is why am I not linked to some subscription? No, something is wrong over here. While creating an account, did we do anything differently? Let me do one thing. Let me create one more. Okay, sure. Why it is basically happening in that way? Hmm. Okay, these are your roles, and then you have administrators. Let me click. No, man, it should work. I'm not. Surprised to see why it is not working. Okay, let us do one thing. Let me try something else. So yesterday, if you remember, we can give permission at a subscription level, resource group level, resource level, right? So let me try doing something like that. So I'll go into my system. In my system, I have resource groups. Okay. So are you seeing this DNS resource group? Yeah. So if I get into this DNS resource group, there is something called as access control. So let me click on this access control. Okay. So let us give an access over here. Okay. AD user. What was our user? And so we are first checking the access. So right now it doesn't have any access. Let me basically select it over here. Role assignments. Okay. Can I add a role assignment? Let me add a role assignment. Add a role assignment to the user who is Han Solo. No. Okay. I have to select a role. Am I audible over the web? Because my network is dead slow. Can we create a customization? Yes, that's the whole point. So what is that we'll give? Let me give something called as contributor. Let me select Han Solo and let me click on save. Okay, right. This is the one first thing. So I've given a resource group and I've given a role assignment of contributor. Let us not worry about my. This is dead slow. Okay, right. So at least the UI has changed a little bit, right? It is no longer telling that you don't belong to some subscription. Okay, good. Sorry, saying that DNS. So am I saying DNS? So just adding the users will not make any difference until unless you basically go and add roles. Now the point is default roles that are given by Microsoft might not be fit for you all the time. Might not be fit for you all the time. Right now I've gone there and created something called as contributor. But your organization might want you to do something special, something different. Okay. So this user should have access to all the virtual machines that are created only in Mumbai region. If he goes to any other region, he should not be able to do anything because he is allowed to only work in Mumbai. But no role speaks about that. Okay, if you want those kind of roles, we have to write our own roles. So next most important thing is basically role assignments. Am I clear on this? First is create users, sync them to Active Directory. Okay, and then okay, so Azure Okay, or Azure identity. Okay, expectations. Okay, so first, if you are an architect, what is expected out of you? Design the AD synchronization approach. Okay, a list of the roles or need for custom RBAC policies to be defined. Okay, this is what an architect's responsibility is. Now, if you come in over here and look into administrator's responsibility, okay, implement the AD synchronization approach. Okay, create necessary RBAC policies. Okay, and then you have developer. Developer could be your payroll applications developer. Okay, right? So add necessary security. Okay, or access. Okay, implementations with Azure. If you are using Active Directory, you don't need to change a line of code. But let us assume that your application is a web application and it was not using Active Directory. It has its own set of users. Now you want single sign-on. So then you need to make changes. So these are the three things. And remember, no one here will become directly an architect. You can write an architect certification that will never make you an architect. Okay, architect comes with certain experience, right? But to be very specific, architect is a quality, is a behavior. Okay, but unfortunately in India we have made it a role. Okay, architect is actually not a role, it is one of the quality, right? But fine, whatever it is. So in this classroom, 95% of the people belong to the middle area, which is administrator. Okay, but I have to speak about this one also. Okay, right? What are the design principles? Why should we choose all of them? Today I was showing you some of the images, right? Having that images understanding is required, okay, for you to come up with solution to the customers. But at least at a bare minimum, you should start at a level that if someone gives you an image, you should be able to implement it. You should be able to implement it, right? And then the third one, developer, you might need to change your access or security implementation. For example, you will definitely be writing authentication code. So your authentication code should somehow start speaking with Azure. So for that, Azure gives you some helps, right? Azure gives you some code snippets. You have to start looking at. Clear on this? Yeah. There are many more to understand. Today I'm just giving you an overview of all of this, right? Okay. So right now let me just open the page whatever we have written. Okay. So why am I having six? Okay. Right. So our first job is to simulate that on-premise. We don't have an on-premise over here. So we have to create some Windows server with Active Directory in it, understand the domain services, and then synchronize the users to Azure Active Directory. And then while we are doing this, we have to look at all the possible approaches. One is AD sync, the other one is this kind of authentication request. The other one was directly a authentication request to this. Okay, and then basically creating something called as federation services. What these things are all about. We have to have an architectural understanding of all of this. Okay, and we will be implementing this approach. All of us will do this approach. Okay, we will be looking at all the other possible approaches also. But for these two things, you should know Active Directory very well, right? Which I don't expect from most of you, right? So I'll start speaking about all of the architectures, but we'll implement AD sync in the classroom. Clear on this, right? But we'll speak about what are the scenarios in which we have to use what. Clear on this, right? So tomorrow onwards, I want laptops and I want Azure accounts to be created. If you don't have an Azure account, it is waste of time. All right. Clear on this? Yeah. Okay. Right. Yes. Yes. Even yesterday, I think one of our student has called me. His package was 12. Now he got a package of 20 lakhs. Right. So he was not expecting 20, by the way. His target was somewhere around 15 or 16. If I get it, it's okay. But yeah, he got 20. Okay, I'll not name the person, I'll not name the companies, but yeah, but that is something which has pinged me yesterday. Things are different, but you get decent amount of salaries. Okay, కష్టంగా ఉంది అంటే కష్టంగా ఉన్నప్పుడు డబ్బులు ఎక్కువ వస్తాయి. Yeah, because of Azure, no, not because of Azure, because of the person was trying to understand whatever he does, right? So Azure and DevOps, if you have looked into job portals, they are in hell lot of demand. Okay, right. So if you want to set your career, ఓన్లీ కోరికలు ఉంటే సరిపోదు. ఓకే, అబ్దుల్ కలాం కలలు కనమన్నాడు నిజమే, తర్వాత ఎవరిని చేయమన్నాడు, మన కళల దగ్గర ఆగిపోయాం అంతే. ఆ కళలు కూడా రాత్రి 10 తర్వాత ఉదయం 4కు ముందు, రియాలిటీ ఉండదు. దానివల్ల ఉపయోగం ఉంది. రైట్. What is his experience and what are the technologies which he has learned? He has, to my knowledge, he has learned a DevOps and a cloud. Okay, and he was already working as some, I don't remember, but to my knowledge he was administrator, but whether he was a VM admin or a Linux admin, I think I don't remember it, but he has learned DevOps and the cloud from us, right? Yeah. Right. Fine. Good. Good. But at least, right, whenever you get job, కొన్ని క్వాలిటీ థాట్కి అవసరం లేదు. నేను ఫేస్బుక్ లో అట్లా ఉన్నాను కదా, డైరెక్ట్ లింక్ లో ఒక మెసేజ్ లింక్డ్ఇన్ లో ఉద్యోగం వచ్చింది అని, రైట్? నేనేమో మీ వివరాలు చెప్పను, మీ ఫోటోలు ఇక్కడ అంటించము, రైట్? బట్ జస్ట్ దట్ గివ్స్ ఎ సాటిస్ఫాక్షన్ సేయింగ్ దట్ ఓకే, సమ్మన్ హ్యాడ్ గాట్ ఎ బెనిఫిట్ ఆఫ్ ఇట్. ఓకే, చాలా మంది చెప్పరు. ఓకే, there were cases where my relatives have brought in people and someone outside had told me that that person has got job, do you know that? And I said no, I don't know. Right. Yeah, but I don't know what is the reason, but you might have lot of insecurities, but I'm quite sure that I will not be sharing that information. My information is to ensure that others get job, not to name you and Narayana college laga ఒకటి రెండు మూడు మేము ఏం చేయం. You might have not never seen me basically posting someone's name over in DevOps, right? Yeah. Right. Yeah, I am available at 11 o'clock, from 11 to 12 for online students, and the link is I'm not sure what is the link. I'll ask Satish to paste the link in the classroom. Jagadish, ఒకసారి సతీష్కి ఒక లింక్ పంపించాను నేను, మెయిల్ వచ్చింది, కానీ ఇప్పుడు కొత్త వాళ్ళు ఎవరైనా కనెక్ట్ అవ్వాలి అనుకుంటే మెయిల్, యూ విల్ రిసీవ్ ఎ మెయిల్, మ్యాన్, యూ విల్ రిసీవ్ ఎ మెయిల్. యా, I will be available at 11 o'clock, 11 to 12 I'll be there. Okay, right. Okay, fine. So this is our road ahead, and I'm trying to tell you that it is not simple, it is going to be difficult. Okay, but every organization, whenever they go to the Azure, first thing they do is they do AD migration, right? And our activity falls under that. Now we are migrating your Active Directories into Azure, or you are synchronizing Active Directories into some. All the organizations might not do migration, but every organization does at least synchronize. So that's the basic motive. Okay, and then once we do that, we will be defining custom policies. Then we'll look into the other security aspects of it. Clear on this? Okay, this is a tough road. We have a lot of things, and from tomorrow onwards, I would expect that you would bring your system so that at least you can start 10% of whatever you are expected to do on that day in the classroom itself. Clear on this, right? Please bring it. We have many things to understand, and Microsoft sells a lot of Azure because of Active Directory. Azure Active Directory is one of their key selling point. Okay, so what Microsoft tells us, just have an Azure account with us, and from there on, you don't need to worry about any kind of identity. We will take care. Okay, let it be for your applications, right? Let it be for your new mobile apps, let it be for your devices. We do all kinds of stuff. That's Microsoft's promise. So we should be good at all of this. Clear, right? So we'll get into this, and then we need to also worry about rollback rollback policies, right? Role-based authentication policies. We need to understand two things over here: what is present and what has to be created. If we have to create, what is that we need to do? Okay, so I think today or tomorrow you will be all be receiving a mails about two formats, JSON and YAML. Okay, you'll get a video on what are JSON formats and what are YAML formats. If you know them, wonderful. If you don't know them, please go through that video, because when we write custom RBAC policies, we'll be writing a JSON file. We'll be writing a JSON file. You'll be receiving that video. Spend some time. Okay, and in quote, whenever you are looking into course contents and whatever, whenever you see a refer here button, please click on that. That refer here is given for you to help. Okay, just copy pasting the commands and pasting it might not help. Clear, right? Okay, so tomorrow onwards, bring your system, because tomorrow the thing which we'll do is we'll try to create a Windows server. In that Windows server, we'll try to create some users. We'll create 5 to 6 users. Let us not create more than that. If 5 to 6 go, 5,000 also will go to Azure, and then we'll sync those 5 to 6 users to Azure, and then we will try to give them access to whatever they need. Okay, right? So once we understand those migration approaches, once we have this Active Directory and Azure, we'll discuss about all the possible ways of moving or synchronizing those 5 users to Azure. Then we will basically come back to role-based access policy. Then we will understand something called as, in Azure Active Directory, you have something called as B2B, B2C. Okay, there is something called as PIM, privileged identity management, and you have to. There are many things to learn. Okay, and all of them are important, unfortunately, right? Because cloud works in this way. In cloud, if someone is trying to tell you cloud, saying that this is the only real-time scenario how cloud is used, that person doesn't know anything. Because the reason why we have cloud is a service that can be offered or utilized by any kind of organization doing anything. Okay, so my company might like to have AD sync, but your company might want to basically go with saying that, okay, I don't want to do AD sync, let me make this extend Azure as one of my other site. Another company might tell that, okay, let me move everything to Azure, and whenever someone wants to log in, let me give a federation login. Anything is possible. You cannot go with one possibilities. What we cover in the classroom is majority of the possibilities, what majority of the organizations are using, what is a major use case. Corner use cases, yes, we skip it. Okay, but at least if it is majorly used, we have to understand what that architectures are, right? Yeah, okay then. Thanks for your time. Right. Tomorrow also we have class same time. Yes, Sunday is no longer the holiday. Yeah.